Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home with you.
Brother, let me rap with you. I did what I had to do. I don't need your respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this man can do. Brother, let me speak these words and show you what this rap can do. Brother, let me rap with you. I did what I had to do. I don't need your respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this man can do. Brother, let me speak these bars and show you what this rap can do. Niggas sweet like apple juice. Niggas got them mad confused. They say they be woke, but I always see niggas smack the snooze. Back to sleep, they hibernate. Politicians violate. Media be lying, hating, so solid can't tolerate.
Every time I step outside, it's like I'm in the matrix. Popping pills to change reality, I'm dodging ages. Rather take your baby mama home and beat her back up.
Think we just friends? Bro, I be smashing like a Mack truck.
I do this for the art, almost got caught in the bullshit. These bars from the heart, you can hear it in my music. Way I beat the track up, you can say that I'm a builder. Every time I rap the public, man, they be like, oh shit.
Don't know what to say, just don't believe in you niggas. Politicians in the media deceiving you niggas. Niggas dumb eating what the news be feeding you niggas. Don't compare me to y'all, my cerebrum is bigger. And what she say?
Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home with you.
Brother, let me rap with you. I did what I had to do. I don't need your respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this man can do. Brother, let me speak these words and show you what this rap can do.
Take me home with you, solid, that's what baby said. She don't want what's in my wallet, just won't give me head. I just wanna see you win what you hating for. Showing what this rapping do since I was 8 years old. Smoking on my kush, the realest black man in my Zicko. They be talking about me when they see me, they on bitch mode. It's the prophet, so solid, yes, aka decided. Ride and keep it quiet, knock you down with the trident. I can't listen to the lies, can't even look me in my eyes. Shake my hand like a bitch, type of nigga I despise. Don't know why you even try, got the 9 on my side. They gon' bust up in the air, I'ma put it in your life. Don't know what to say, just don't believe in you niggas. Politicians in the media deceiving you niggas. Niggas dumb, eating what the news be feeding you niggas. Don't compare me to y'all, my cerebrum is bigger. Ay. Take me home, take me home. What she say? Take me home, take me home with you.
Brother, let me rap with you. I did what I had to do. I don't need your respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this man can do. Brother, let me speak these words and show you what this rap can do.
Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home with you. Take me home.
Oh, what's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? My bad. Time in the building. Time in the building. Hey, team, how you doing, sis? Fishing the Fit in the building. Fishing the Fit in the building. Y'all know what today is. Today is the 14th of January, year 2025 of our Lord, 523. We're going to get our hour reading in, and we're going to get on with the get on. We're gonna get on with the get on. This book is by Esther Vilar. It is The Manipulated Male. This will be a playlist, so you guys know it will be available at a later date for you. Share the video, like the video, hate the video, whatever. I don't care, right? But if you guys find this is something interesting, pass it along. We finished off yesterday going into page 17, and this is titled Starting Out the Universe is Male. Can I get a mic check just to make sure? Can I get a mic check just to make sure? Today was a long day. Okay, we good. We good. Hey, Bree, how you doing? All right, let's get to it. We are going into page 17. The universe is male. Man, unlike woman, is beautiful because men, unlike women, is a thinking creature. This means man has a thirst for knowledge. He wants to know what the world around him looks like and how it functions. Man thinks. He draws conclusions from the data he encounters. Man is creative. He makes something new out of the information achieved by the above processes. Man is sensitive. As a result of his exceptionally wide, multidimensional emotional scale, he not only registers the commonplace in fine gradations, but he creates and discovers new emotional values and makes them accessible to others through sensible decisions or recreates them as an artist. Of all the qualities of man, his curiosity is certainly the most impressive. This curiosity differs basically from that of woman. A woman takes interest only in subjects that have an immediate personal usefulness to her. For example, if she reads a political article in the newspaper, it is highly likely that she wants to cast a spell on some political science student, not that she cares about the fate of the Chinese, Israelis, or South Africans. If she looks up the names of some Greek philosophers in the dictionary, it does not mean she has suddenly taken an interest in Greek philosophy. It means she is trying to solve a crossword puzzle. If she is studying the advertisements for a new car, she is not doing it with the platonic interest in its technical features, but because she wants to own one. It is a fact that most women, mothers included, generally have no idea how the human fetus is formed, how it develops in the womb, or what stages it passes through before birth. Of course, it is entirely unnecessary for her to know about these things, since they cannot influence the development of the embryo anyway. It is only important to know that a pregnancy test lasts 9 months and that for the duration, one must take care of oneself. And in case of complications, immediately consults one's doctor, who will, of course, restore everything to order. Man's curiosity is something quite different. His desire for knowledge has no personal implications. It's purely objective, and in the long run, it's much more practical than a woman's attitude. One has only to watch a man go past a building site where a newly developed machine is being used. For example, a new kind of dredger. There is hardly a man, regardless of social status, who will pass by without a glance. Many will stop to have a good look and to discuss the characteristics of the new machine, its advantages and disadvantages, and its differences from previous models. A woman would never think of stopping at a building site unless, of course, The crowd was so big that she thought she might miss something exciting. For example, construction worker crushed by bulldozer. In that case, she would demand to know all the details, then look the other way. Man's curiosity is universal. There is almost nothing that does not interest him, whether it is politics, botany, nuclear physics, or God knows what. Even subjects out of his province hold his interest, such as bottling fruit, preparing cake mix, or caring for a baby. And a man could not be pregnant for months without knowing all the functions of the placenta and ovaries in detail. Hey, Almond Eyes. How you doing, Pumpkin? Men not only observe the world around them, it is in their nature to make comparisons and to apply the knowledge they have gained elsewhere with the ultimate aim to transform this newfound knowledge into something else and something new. One need not emphasize the fact that practically all inventions and discovery in this world have been made by men, and not only in the fields of electricity, aerodynamics, gynecology, cybernetics, mathematics, quantum mechanics, hydraulics, and the origin of the species. In addition, men have devised the principles of child psychology and infant nutrition, as well as pasteurization and other means of preserving food. Even the changes in women's fashions or other such trivial matters as the creation of new menus and palatal nuances are traditionally the province of men. If one wishes to have an unusual culinary treat, generally one will not find it at home, but at a restaurant, where, of course, the chef is male. A woman's sense of taste is so blunted and deadened by the repetitive preparation of unimaginative, run-of-the-mill, tasteless, everyday cooking that even if she wanted to try out new foods, she would not be capable of it. There is no female gourmet. Women are good for almost nothing. With his many gifts, man would appear to be ideally suited, both mentally and physical, to lead a life both fulfilled and free. Instead, he chooses to become a slave, placing his many discoveries at the service of those who are incapable of creation themselves, at the service of mankind, man's own synonym for women, and of the children of these women. How paradoxical that this very sex, which is capable of leading a life as nearly as perfect as possible, is prepared to give it up, to offer it all to the female sex, which is not interested in such perfection. We have grown so accustomed to the blunted mechanism of one-sided exploitation of one group of human beings by a parasitic clique that our moral values have become completely perverted. Without really giving the matter any thought, we consider the male sex as a kind of Sisyphus. Sisyphus is from Greek mythology. It's a man that was forced to push a boulder up a mountain his entire existence, right? So that's who Sisyphus is, if you don't know. He has come into the world to learn, to work, and to father children. His sons, in their turn, will learn to work and produce children, and so it will continue forever. It has become almost impossible to think why else men should be here. If a young man gets married and starts a family and spends the rest of his life working at a soul-destroying job, he is held up as an example of virtue and responsibility. The other type of man, living only for himself, working only for himself, has to keep only himself, sleeping where and when he wants, and facing women when he meets her on equal terms and not as one of a million slaves, is rejected by society. The free, unshackled man has no place in its midst. How depressing it is to see men, year after year, betraying all that they were born to do. New worlds could be discovered. Worlds one hardly dares even to dream of could be opened by the minds, strength, and intelligence of men. Things to make life fuller and richer, their own life, that is, of which women are ignorant, and more worthwhile could be developed. All these things could be done by men. Instead, they forsake all these tremendous potentials, and permit their minds and their bodies to be shunted onto sidings to serve the repulsively primitive needs of women. Man has the key to every mystery of the universe in his hand, but he ignores it. He lowers himself to the level of woman and insinuates himself into her favor. With his mind, his strength, and his imagination, all intended for the creation of new worlds, he opts instead for the preservation and improvement of the old. And if he happens to invent something new, he needs to prefix it with the excuse that it will one day be useful to all mankind, i.e., to women. He apologizes for his achievements for making space flights instead of providing more comforts for his wife and children. The most tiresome aspect of technological advance is having to translate them for the television advertisements into female language composed of children's prattle and sweet love talk. Man is begging women to be patient with him and his discoveries, or at least to buy them. Women's proven lack of imagination makes clear that they have, I don't know, I think the PDF messed that up. They have no need for new inventions. If they did, they would invent things more often themselves. We are so accustomed to men doing everything with women in view that anything else seems unthinkable. For example, couldn't composers create something apart from love songs? Couldn't writers give up their romantic novels and love poems and just try to write literature? Can painters only produce nudes and profiles of women, abstract or realistic? Why can't we have something new after all this time, something we have never seen before? It should really be possible for scientists to forget dedicating their works to their wives. Anyhow, they will never be able to understand them. When will the time come when experimental films have no longer to be weighted down by sexy female bodies, when news reports on space travel do not need to be encumbered with interviews of peroxized astronauts' wives? Even the astronauts themselves might stop having dependency songs played to them during their interplanetary travels. We have absolutely no idea what the world will be like if men really use their intelligence and imagination instead of wasting it. Inventing pressure cookers that cook faster, wall-to-wall carpeting that is more stain resistant, detergents that wash whiter, and lipsticks that are more water resistant is a waste of time. Instead of producing children who will in turn produce children, instead of producing children who will in turn produce children, thus pushing the enjoyment of life still further out of their own reach. They should try living themselves. Instead of probing the depths of women's mysterious psyche, only because there is nothing behind it, they should study their own psyche, perhaps even that of creatures possibly inhabiting other planets, and think of new ways and means of establishing contact with them. Instead of inventing ever more deadly weapons to fight wars destined only to defend private property, i.e., women, they should be developing ever more efficient methods of space travel which would tell us more about worlds we've never dreamed of. Unfortunately, men who are capable and willing to work and think in every other field of research have declared everything concerning women taboo. What is worse is that this taboo has always been so effective that it is no longer recognized as such. Without thinking, men fight women's wars, father women's children, and construct women's towns. Women just sit back getting lazier, dumber, and more demanding, and at the same time, richer. A primitive but effective system of insurance policies for marriage, divorce, inheritance, widowhood, old age, and life ensure this increasing wealth. For example, in the U.S., half of the total private capital is in the hands of women. Yet the number of working women has constantly decreased over the last decades. The situation is not much different in industrial Europe. At this time, women already have complete psychological control over men. It won't be long before they have material control as well. Men seem to be quite unaware of these facts and go on finding happiness in their own subjugation. There could be justification for their attitudes only if women really were the charming, gracious creatures men believed them to be. Fairy princesses, angels from another world, too good for men themselves and for this earthly existence. It is quite incredible that men who desire for knowledge, knows no bounds in every other field are actually totally blind to these facts, that they are incapable of seeing women as they really are, with nothing else to offer but a vagina, 2 breasts, and some punch cards programmed with idle, stereotype chatter, that they are nothing more than conglomerations of matter, lumps of stuffed human skin pretending to be thinking human beings. If men would only stop for a moment in their blind productivity and think, they could easily tear the mask off these creatures with their tinkling bracelets, frilly blouses, and gold leather sandals. Surely it would take them only a couple of days, considering their own intelligence, imagination, and determination, to construct a machine, a kind of human female robot, to take the place of woman. For there is nothing original in her, neither inside nor out, which could not be replaced. Why are men so afraid to face the truth? We are on page 20, next chapter. Her stupidity makes woman divine. Only the oppressed have any real need of freedom. Yet, as soon as they are free, and providing they have the intelligence to weigh their freedom against the possible consequences, this needs change. This need changes. My apologies, guys. The former longing for freedom reverts to a sense of fear, accompanied by an intense longing to be tied and secure. In the first years of life, man is never free. He is hemmed in by adult rules, and having no experience of social conduct to guide him, he is entirely dependent on them. As a result, he develops an acute desire for freedom and feels a desperate need to escape from his prison at the first opportunity. Once a human being is free, if it happens to be rather stupid, and women are stupid, it will be quite happy with its freedom and try to retain it. As the unintelligent human being is incapable of abstract thought, it will never feel the need to leave its familiar terrain, and consequently will never fear that its very existence might be threatened. It is not afraid of death because it cannot imagine it. There is no need to find a meaning or reason for life. Its desires are fulfilled in its own personal comforts, and these provide reason enough for living. Even the need for religion is comparatively unknown to a person of low intelligence, and if it does arise, it is very easily satisfied. A stupid person has an infinite capacity for self-adoration. If a woman chooses to believe in God, it is for one reason only, that she wants to go to heaven. And what, after all, is the dear Lord but yet another man who will arrange things for her? God damn it. The situation of the intelligent person, i.e., a man, is very different. At first, he welcomes his newfound freedom with a sense of relief, drunk with the vision and perspective of life before him. But the moment he puts this freedom to the test, that is, as soon as he wants to commit a given act which might send him in a given direction, he gets scared. Since he is capable of abstract thought, he knows that each of his acts has a series of possible consequences, not all of which can be predicted. If he decides to act of his own free will, the responsibility will be his alone. Vince, what's good, bro? I see you. At that moment, man would be delighted to cease all activity. But because he is a man, and it is man's destiny to act, he begins to long for the rules of his childhood, to long for someone who will tell him what to do, to give meaning to his now meaningless actions. These actions are meaningless because they serve his comfort. But what does he serve? At this point, he will search for a new deity, one to take the place of his mother, the deity of his childhood. The moment he finds her, he becomes her abject slave. Given the choice, of course, a man will prefer a deity that is strong, just, wise, and omniscient. Omniscient. She said it's not omnificent, it's omniscient is the word that she used. Rather like the God of Christians, the Jew, and the Mohammedans. But as he is an intelligent being, he knows that such a deity cannot exist. That every adult is, by definition, his own personal deity who must make his own rules. God damn it. Every adult, i.e., every man, must satisfy his craving for non-freedom, a regression to a sort of infantile dependency which gives him pleasure, and he can do this only by imposing rules, deities on himself, which he then sets out to fabricate. So what this sounds like to me, what she's saying right now, guys, and you let me know if I'm off, right? We got 7 people in the building. Hit the like button, share the video, right? If we want to overlay this into what we talk about in modern times, right? How the modern woman associates freedom with no responsibility. Just how you doing? Right? What's the how the saying goes, right? Being free is never having to say you're sorry, right? Right? Because you answer to no one, right? You have no what you do have what you choose to do for you has no ramifications, because you could care less about the outcomes or the way it affects other people. Does this make sense? Jay Wills, what's good? Does that make sense, guys? Does that correlate? Right? And again, what I'm getting from it is it's saying, like, again, how the modern woman associates freedom with no responsibility, right? Because when they're if they're in a relationship or under some type of rule, right, that requires them to perform. Does that make sense? Right? That will require them to have someone to answer to, right? And what she's saying is, as men, we make it up, right? Whether it's duty, whether we're God-fearing, right? Whether we impart into ourselves that, hey, I'm the man, right? Like I tell y'all, I am a God, right? We are gods on this planet, right? Walking in this plane of existence, right? So we understand there's a certain responsibility that comes with us making certain decisions. Yeah? No? Y'all let me know. When man creates rules, he unconsciously compares experiences with other men. Finding something in common with them, he derives generalizations. These rules become law for future reasonable conduct. In other words, beneficial to someone other than himself, to which he voluntarily subjects himself. The system thus created grows collectively and individually more and more, and soon they are so complex that the individual can no longer oversee them. They achieve autonomy and become divine. One can only believe in these laws, just as an inexperienced child must believe in the partly senseless, the partly sensible rules of his parents. To trespass carries the threat of exclusion from society and a loss of security. Marxism, brotherly love, racism, and nationalism all evolve in this way. A man whose personal need for religion is satisfied by such larger systems will be relatively safe from subjection to the rule of an individual, a woman. The majority of men prefer to subjugate themselves to an exclusive deity. Woman, they call this subjection love. This sort of personal deity has excellent qualifications for the satisfaction of religious needs. Woman is ever present and gives her own lack of religious need and given her own lack of religious need, she is divine. As she continuously makes demands, man never feels forsaken. She frees him from his collective gods for what favors he would have to compete with others. He trusts in her because she resembles his mother, the deity of his childhood. His empty life is given an artificial meaning, for his every action is dedicated to her comfort and later to the comfort of the children. As a goddess, she can not only punish by taking away his sense of belonging, but she can reward as well through the bestowal of sexual pleasure. The most important requirements for woman's divinity are, however, her propensity to masquerade and her stupidity. A system must either overwhelm its believers with its greatly superior wisdom, or confuse them with its incomprehensible. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know I get to stuttering and shit. With this incomprehensibility. As the first possibility is unavailable to women, they take advantage of the second. Their masquerade causes them to appear strange and mysterious to men. Their stupidity makes them inaccessible to scrutiny. When intelligence shows itself in actions that are reasonable and logical, his permits measurement, predictability, and control. Stupidity shows itself in actions that are completely unreasonable, unpredictable, and uncontrollable. Women are protected by a screen of pomp, mummery, and mystification as much as any pope or dictator. They cannot be unmasked and will not increase their power unhindered, gaining strength as they go, and will increase their power unhindered, gaining strength as they go. In return, man is guaranteed in the long term a divinity in which he can believe. Now, this sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, right? But let's clarify, right? What is the religion that they're describing or that she's describing? Right? What is the religion? Right? She's using this as a simile, but let me tell you what she's using it for, right? As far as the comparison, right? The comparison, as far as this goes, when she says stupidity, that women are incapable of making logical thought, right? That women are not thinkers, right? That women aren't able to protect themselves, things of that nature, right? The stuff that we believe in society that women use men for, right? And most men, when we have these discussions and we actually do it amongst each other, right? And we're being honest, right? We will say things like, you know, a woman, she's not smarter than you, or she's not better than you, or she's not, you know what I'm saying? So we fall into those belief systems. Okay. No, I do not need to move text around. What is wrong with you? At least that's what I'm getting from it. And I've been wrong before, so. Next chapter, page 21. breaking them in. To ensure that the happiness of man in subjugation is brought about by a woman and not by other men or some sort of animal, or even by one of the above mentioned social systems, a series of training exercises are built into a man's life, beginning at a very early age, Vince. It is fortunate for women that the male infant is under her close jurisdiction, as it is easiest to train him then. And by the natural process of selection, the very women who are best suited to training men are the ones who reproduce themselves. The others are incapable of reproducing themselves anyway. The mere fact that a man is accustomed from his earliest years to have women around, to find their presence normal, their absence abnormal, tends to make him dependent on women in later life. But this dependency would not be serious, for life without women would in that case mean nothing more than a change of scenery, just as someone born in the mountains might go and live in the plains. Although he might long nostalgically for his mountain home, he is unlikely to go back. Other things become more important in his life. It would hardly be in the best interest of women if they only inspired in men a vague romantic nostalgia, felt only on Sundays or when they are away from home, having no direct consequence. She takes care that man is directly trained for a particular purpose. He must work and put the fruits of his labor at her disposal. Women has had this aim in view throughout. Women has had this aim in view throughout the upbringing of her child, and she engenders in him a series of needs. She engenders in him a series of conditioned reflexes, which cause him to produce everything to satisfy her material needs. She does this by manipulating him from his first year of life. Consequently, by the time his education is complete, man will judge his own values by woman's estimations of his usefulness. He will be happy only when he has won her praise and produced something of value to her. One might well say that women become a kind of value scale. At any given moment, a man can refer back to it and judge the value or futility of his actions. If he spends any time on something which has no value in terms of this chart, football, for example, he will do his best to compensate quickly for this minus point by increasing his activity on the plus side of the scale, which explains why women do not object too strongly to football or other types of spectator sports. What's good, Tim and Miranda? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. One of the most useful factors in the conditioning of a man is praise. Its effect is better and much more lasting than, say, sex, as it may be continued throughout a man's life. Furthermore, if praise is applied in the correct dosage, a woman will never need to scold. Any man who is accustomed to a conditional dosage of praise will interpret its absence as displeasure. Training by means of praise has the following advantage. It makes the object of praise dependent. For praise to be worth something, it has to come from a higher source. Thus, the object of praise lifts the praise giver to a superior level. It creates an addict. Without praise, he soon no longer knows whether or not he is worth something and forgets the ability to identify with himself. It increases his productivity. Praise is most effectively meted out not for the same achievements, but for increasingly higher ones. And this is what's going on with the male today. I'll be trying to tell y'all, man, like I'm not the smartest, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I pay attention, right? And this is what I mean, right? And you guys know, I've already said this, that men, we move everything we do in this world, we've done for women, right? We can't say that men are simple and minimalist, right? And then continue to say all these things that we accomplish that we don't really need have use for, right? Or see productive, that those things were created for us. It's kind of like, it's like I said, like, I don't believe, I akin it to the example that women use, say, well, I'm dressing for me. No, you're not dressing for you, right? You're trying to catch a man that can provide these things that she's talking about in this goddamn story, right? And again, a social contract, again, even though we know and understand, y'all know we've covered this 100 times already. This is just putting it all in perspective to hear from someone else, right? I tell y'all again, everything that these men do, that we do as men, is for our women and for our children, right? So we can see them have an easier life. And again, these things is the praises, right? These are things that are part of the social contract. But again, now in this day and age with the modern mindset, a man can be doing everything, enslaving himself, doing everything within his power to make that person comfortable, and they don't even get praise, right? Isn't this the complaint that we're getting from men on a huge scale? The things they say that, you know, on Hemp Show and Fatty Show, and here when we have panels, whatever, that men are complaining about? Let me know in the chat. The moment a male child has been rewarded by a warm smile and by the customary inane kind of encouraging adult baby talk for using his pot and not wetting his bed, or for drinking the last drop in his bottle, he is caught up in a vicious circle. He will repeat the actions which called forth praise and endearments, and if at any time recognition is not granted, he will do everything in his power to regain it. The happiness he feels when praise is restored will already have assumed the proportions of an addiction. During the first 2 years of life, a mother does not discriminate between boys and girls. The female infant is submitted to the same form of manipulation until the principles of hygiene are absorbed. But from that moment on, the education of the two sexes follows very different paths. The older the girl grows, the more highly contentious she becomes in the art of exploiting others, while a boy is increasingly manipulated into becoming an object of exploitation. Toys play an important part in this early manipulation. The mother will first stimulate the playfulness of her children, and then she will exploit it. The girl child will be given dolls with all the necessary paraphernalia, prams, doll beds, miniature tea sets. The boy will be given everything a girl never has: mechanic sets, electric trains, miniature race cars, and airplanes. Thus, the girl is conditioned right from the start to identify with her mother, to fit herself into the role of woman. Dolls are praised or scolded as mother praises and scolds. It is child's play to her to absorb the principles of leadership. A girl's educations, like a boy's, is based on praise, meted out to her. However, only when she identifies with the female role, so that she will never want to be anything but feminine. The standard set of values will inevitably be woman's forever, since only women can judge how good their own role is. Men are taught that woman's role is inferior, hence there is no cause to praise a woman. A male child is constantly praised for everything. I'm trying to. So Solid, what's good, Flow God? What's good with you, my man? How you doing, bro? They say this is the stuff they say they want, but nobody listens. Y'all, I mean, y'all is definitely somebody, but the other ones, that we just keep proving points over here, right? A male child is constantly praised for everything, except for playing with miniature humans. He builds model dams, bridges, and canals, take toy cars apart to see how they work, shoots toy pistols, and practice on a small scale all the things he will need later in life when he is providing for a woman. By the time he reaches school age, the average boy is already well versed in the basic principles of mechanics, biology, and electrical engineering, all learned from personal experience. He can build wooden huts and defend them in make-believe wars. The more initiative he shows, the more he's praised. Women want him to develop to the point where he knows more than she does. His knowledge must be superior to hers in everything concerning work, for women cannot survive without man. So solid, man, in the building. Always good to see you, my boy. Appreciate the support, man. You always coming through for me. I appreciate you, God. Appreciate you, man. $20 so solid in the bucket. So for woman, man is really a kind of machine, if rather an unusual one. Her ideal, if she could define it, would be a robot capable of thought, of programming itself, of continuing to develop and produce an ideal set of functions to meet each new situation. Scientists, too, are working on the development of such robots who will work for them and make decisions for them, think for them, and put the results of their labor at their disposal. But these robots will be constructed from non-living matter. Hey, Tim, we just reading, bro. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Long before man is in a position to choose his own way of life, he will have formed the necessary addiction to praise. He will be happy only when his work brings him praise. And because he's an addict, his need will increase, and with it, the type of achievement to be much praised by his woman. Or by his woman. This male need could, of course, be satisfied by another man. But as each man is working feverishly in the interest of his own addiction, he has no time to help others. Indeed, man exists, as it were, in a state of constant antagonistic competition with other men. It is one of the reasons why he loses no time in getting his own private panegyric. What the hell does that mean? Let's look that up. A panegyric. Are you gonna look it up? Yeah, like view selection, bitch. Oh, the definition don't work. Try again. Nope, won't let me know. I'll look it up and get back to y'all. One whose praise will be his exclusive right. Someone who will always be at home waiting to tell him when he has been good and just how good he has been. It is apparently only by chance that woman is best suited to this role. But in fact, she has been preparing all her life for it, waiting to assume it. It is rare for a man, a successful artist or scientist, for instance, to be able to conquer his addiction to the extent that he is satisfied by another man's praise. If he does, it is really only women he has managed to escape, never the craving itself. Once a particular field of work has brought a man success and financial security, it is rare for him to test his abilities in another sphere, attempting to satisfy his curiosity. The supply of praise may be dangerously reduced, like Miro with his dots and lines technique, Johann Strauss with his waltzes, and Tennessee Williams with his plays about psychotic women. He will stick firmly to his successful technique. The risk of attempting to be the measure of his own success is too great for him to take. One is even tempted to think that there can be nothing very positive about an artist's personal style. Take a man like Samuel Beckett. For 20 years, he has produced a series of Godot replicas, and surely not for pleasure. After all, he is an intelligent man. He avoids risk the way an alcoholic avoids a cure. Yet, if only he could free himself from his conditioned behavior, he would probably do something quite different. Perhaps he might design planes. The reliable construction of his plays hints at a scientific talent, or grow rare plants. He might even, perhaps just once, write a comedy. Surely, so much success is bound to drive away the depths of despair. It might even turn out to be a success with the public. But no, the risk is too great for a carefully manipulated man. Better go on writing plays about the absurdity of the vital instinct. Then at least he can be certain of praise. I guess, I don't know. Manipulation by means of self-abasement. I'm sorry, bro. Where is it at? I done lost it. Tim. Damn it. Manipulation by means of self-abasement. A critical man might well say that women have no self-respect. If they had, they would never admit the incredible extent of their ignorance as happily as they do. How easily man forgets that his own standards of honor, pride, and dignity are all instilled in him by women, and that the very masculinity of which he is so proud is but a sign of successful manipulation. No credit goes to him at all. Any psychology textbook will tell us that a child's abilities to achieve something is best enhanced by giving that child self-confidence. This, however, is not something he can acquire by himself. He is born into a society on which he is dependent for everything, a society in which his own powers are insufficient to get what he wants, unaided. So, as a woman's first interest lies in creating an adult capable not only of providing for himself, but for others as well, it is of utmost importance to instill self-confidence in this youth. She starts by minimizing the dangers of life, insofar as she herself is always aware of them. She closes his eyes to the possibility of death or promises him eternal life as a reward for being good. Good, that is, by her standards. She tries as hard as she can to give him a sense of imbecile optimism that will best prepare him for her manipulation or for life in general. As we have already seen, praise is one of the best ways of inducing self-confidence and of enhancing productivity. There is another method which is as effective: self-abasement on the part of the woman. If a woman were not superior to her child, at least in the early stages of his development, the human race will cease to exist. A good mother will take the greatest care, however, never to let this fact impede her child's development. She does not want to turn the tables on herself and keep the boy tied to her apron strings for longer than necessary. As soon as possible, she will try to give a male child a sense of superiority towards herself, a kind of advance against achievements to come. This gives him his first experience of confidence. He may even go one step further and deliberately pretend to be less intelligent than she is, giving him a head start he will never lose. This, of course, is providing he grows up to be a proper man, and she will take care of that. Thanks, Tim. You said, found it. A panegyrist is a person who praises someone or something in a formal speech or a piece of writing. Lift your voice to the heavens in the praise of your man, right? As the value of women in society is not measured by intelligence, but by completely different standards. In fact, there are no standards. Man needs her, and that is enough. God damn it. T.O., what's good, my boy? Thanks for coming through, man. Happy Tuesday to you, fella. Happy Tuesday to you, fella. Right? And that is enough. She may be as stupid in appearance or in reality as suits her convenience. There is something women have in common with the wealthy. Who cares if they're intelligent, so long as they are rich? If Henry Ford II had the intellectual capacity of one of Tiffany's lady customers, he would be no less socially acceptable because he got dope, right? And that's what we experience here nowadays, right? Y'all see how it doesn't matter. I mean, I ain't gonna say we experience it, but we see it more full in our face nowadays, right? It doesn't matter what that person done as long as they got money, right? It doesn't matter as long as that person is talented, right? It doesn't matter as long as that person got dope, right? If Henry Ford II had the intellect, I said that already, only his chauffeur cannot afford to be stupid. Like a millionaire, a woman can take any risk, and it can justly be said that all the risks she takes are sure things without hurting herself at all. In other words, a woman can be as stupid as she wants to be. In spite of this, a man would take care of her and will not give up her company. God damn it. Let's prove the point. Let's prove the point. Where is that video? Where is it? Where is it? I need you to stop as soon as you get to this page. There we go. Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I got it in my history. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Where is it at? Where is it at? It's been going around. This shit right here is crazy. Okay, watch it. Here it is. Y'all didn't seen it. Let's see if it's going to cause out. Share screen. Y'all seen this? Mr. He said, how you doing, bro? Hey, man, hey, bruh. You said, although I don't consider my wife stupid by any means, but she always influenced. Hey, man, look, we're going to talk about it.
Of a meme of, it was a.
Can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear that.
A meme of a girl in high school, a girl and a guy in high
school. How you gonna
shame
me?
Hold on, I'm not shaming you. I'm actually I'm about to bring you full circle. I got your back. Watch this. In the meme, they were in high school. When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you. And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO executive and all that. And she's like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then making horrible ass decisions with grown ass niggas preying on us. Y'all want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then making horrible ass decisions with grown ass niggas preying on us. Y'all gotta let that shit go.
Okay, so let's unshare that screen. Let's pull it back up. Now y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right? Let's read it again. As the value of women in society is not measured by intelligence, but by completely different standards. In fact, there are no standards. Man needs her, and that is it. And that is enough. She may be as stupid in appearance or in reality as suits her convenience. This is something women have in common with the wealthy. Does that video not tie into that? They claim ignorance at the same time they claim that they know what's going on. But this is what I be saying, 18. This is what we be saying, 18, right? Chill eating bullshit. She says in the same breath, it's an oxymoron, right? It's a moot point she's making, right? She's a positive and a negative. She's non-existing, right? She's a black hole. How can you claim knowledge and ignorance at the same time? How can you volunteer and be forced at the same time? We was messing with the drug dealers, but they was preying on us. Y'all need dick discipline, but our legs are open. Walking oxymorons. In spite of this, a man will take care of her and will not give up her company. We mean it when we say this. And what do I keep saying to y'all, right? I can't be no more transparent, right? We know the game. Men know the game. We know we have to bring something to the table to even deal with y'all. We know that, right? We know that. We know that. Hey, Doris. How you doing, Pumpkin? How you doing? Right, we know this. Tez, what's good, my boy? Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Tez the Fire. And Mr. He Said, and everybody who got a channel, y'all know what it is. Put your link in the description. Right, we got a couple more minutes. The formula for this female conspiracy could not be simpler. It is masculine to work. Feminine do nothing. And men are so lucky to be men. They are strong and free, while women, weak as they are tied to the home by the burden of bearing children. They are simply not made for any valuable kind of work. So I can handle done before I could a woman who single out my friends that have more influence over you than I do. I keep trying to tell you, hey, hey, telling y'all 2025 about to be nasty. It's about to be nasty for a lot of people, right? Men are so willing to believe this myth that they are even flattered by it. It never occurs to them to think that an elephant is strong too, stronger than a man, for example. Yet men are better suited to do most jobs than the elephant in spite of its strength. Women, of course, will never admit that in comparison to men. They do nothing. They are constantly finding little tasks and keeping themselves busy. A woman simply tells her husband that her work is of no value compared with his. She implies that all the inane, pointless busy work she indulges in, such as ironing, baking, or beautifying the house, all those little jobs that take up her day, are necessary for the family's comfort. He is meant to think himself lucky to have a wife who will perform these menial tasks for his sake. And since men are completely unaware that women actually enjoy such jobs, they think themselves as lucky. That's why I tell y'all, never take a woman's work away from her. If she wants something clean a certain way, let her do it. If she wants something to look a certain way, let her do it. Don't ever take her work away from her, right? It's part of her being your woman, right? The same we look at it as being proud, and like she says, getting the praise for going out and making the money and paying the bills and providing a space for her and the children and playing for vacation. Again, this is the work we have of us, right? You got to know what the truth is first, Tim. You got to know what the truth is first. Yeah, take care of her financially. Excuse. He wasn't there for me enough. Yeah, you take care of her mentally, emotionally. Excuse. He wasn't being taken care of. Hey, my boy. If you're doing both, I was bored. Right? Thanks to women, everything is labeled masculine or effeminate, worthy or unworthy. By imbuing all they do with sentimental and emotional values to such a degree that no one can remain unaffected by them, Women have created for themselves a fool's paradise. Whatever they do is pointless compared with male achievements. And since they say so themselves, why should men quibble? Of course, if men, but this also ties into men do it too. Right? How they always try to minimize their fuck ups, right? This also ties into the leadership argument. Well, you the leader, ain't you? Y'all supposed to be the leaders, ain't you? The reason why I'm fucking up is because y'all the leaders. Right? Of course, if men really wanted to, they could destroy this tissue of lies and replace the term masculine and effeminate with hard and easy. For most work done by men is hard, whereas housework is always easy. With the machine invented for this purpose by men, the work for a household of 4 persons is easily done in 2 hours each morning. Anything else a woman chooses to do with her time is superfluous. It's for her own amusement and serves to maintain the idiotic static symbols of her clique, lace curtains, flower beds, or brilliant nail polish. If this is called work, then it is nothing more than a shameless, expedient lie. Corey Joe in the building. Peace, G-O-D. How you be? Housework is so easy that in psychiatric clinics, it is traditionally performed by those patients who have become so feeble-minded that they are no longer suited to any other kinds of work. If women complain that they are not paid extra wages for this work, they demand very little about the wages of a motor mechanic. They demand very little about the way. I don't know what that means. It is only a further proof of how attractive this work is to them. Furthermore, such demands are short-sighted, since they may one day lead to an actual evaluation of women as a workforce with commensurate wages. That would reveal to what extent they live at man's expense beyond their means. Still, man has become accustomed to female terminology since childhood, and he has no desires to undermine it. He needs the feeling of doing something great when he supports a woman. He needs to feel a woman could not do his work. Without this conviction, the monotony of his own life would drive him mad. He has only to feel for a second that a woman could do his job as well as he can, and he would doubt his own efforts at once. From time to time, as she sees fit, a woman might wish to create this impression so that this customary distance between himself and the weaker, quote unquote, sex is maintained and his self-confidence restored. Easy way to keep the peace is if she thinks it's a big deal, like with the kids or the house, and I don't, instead of trying to get her to drop it, I just tell her if she cares, so do I. It is simple to analyze this vicious circle. Women invent rules, manipulate men to obey them, and so dominate the male sex. Of course, these rules in no way apply to women themselves. The male sense of honor, for example, is a system invented by women who loudly exempted themselves from it. They renounced the concept of honor and as a result, manipulate men. In a recent television series, The Avengers, there was a scene in which 2 antagonists were facing each other across a billiard table, a pistol in front of each of them. It was agreed that to give them each an equal chance, they should count aloud up to 3 and then shoot. The hero, however, grabbed his pistol and fired at the count of 2, thus saving his own life. He chose to remain outside the system and was therefore in a position to manipulate the other, who, although in mortal danger, preferred to stick to a system approved by society rather than to use his own judgment. By making her own work appear degrading and contemptible, women brings man to the point where he will undertake all the other tasks. In other words, everything she does not want to do. After all, she was there first as his mother, so she has first choice. A man loses his self-respect and feels useless if he has to do woman's work. In fact, many men are deliberately clumsy at housework, and women love them for it. Such clumsiness is so adorably masculine. If a man is capable of sewing on his own button and does so, he really is not a proper man at all. There must be something wrong with him if he pushes the vacuum cleaner around the house. Music Man, what's popping? How you doing? We almost out of here. Such beliefs enable man to place himself under the guardianship of women. He trusts himself to accomplish almost anything except to make a decent stew. And so he allows himself to be driven away from the most unexacting place of work in the world without a murmur of complaint. Only after a certain amount of manipulation, when there is no longer any danger, will he be permitted to lend a hand in the house. Even then, women always give strict orders because he really does not understand about such things. He will always feel vaguely humiliated by a job of this nature and therefore will never notice how much more agreeable it is than his own. To avoid having to exert effort, all a woman has to do is heave a sigh and indicate that she's, as a woman, is simply not capable of the task. If she merely hints to a man, preferably with witnesses present, that he drives so much better than she does, she has found herself a chauffeur for life. Look at the motorways. They are full of women being driven by their husband chauffeurs. A woman will say that she cannot possibly, as a woman, go to a cafe or theater or a restaurant by herself. There is no rational explanation for this. Women are served equally well or badly, whether alone or accompanied by men. And if she does not want to be accosted, why does she dress to make herself so conspicuous? God damn it. No, instead, she will get herself a flunky who will drive her to the entrance as if she were royalty, fight for a table, order her dinner, entertain her, and finally, pay the bill. Man ready to plow through the newspapers, study political journals, listen to protracted television discussions, sift other men's theories, and behold, when the time comes to vote, to present her with an opinion. So, armed with his conclusion as to what is best for his, hence also her, position in life, off she goes to register his choice. In that way, the election result is not in jeopardy. The alternative might mean the end of her personal well-being. Although she might not understand what politics are about, she is shrewd enough to realize this. Guardian Dog in the building. How you doing, bro? One of the most fantastic flowers of this manipulation through self-abasement is the life of a well-to-do woman today, living comfortably in some pleasantly situated suburban villa, surrounded by children, dogs, other women, by every possible kind of labor-saving device, equipped with television sets and second cars. She would tell her husband, possibly a lawyer or engineer, what a lucky man he is. What a fulfilled life he leads, while she, as a woman, is constrained to lead a life unworthy of a human being. She says this to the man who has paid for all that trash with his life, and he believes her. In the Bible, it is said that Eve was created from Adam's rib. She is a copy, therefore a species of lower order. Yet another example of manipulation through self-abasement. Can anyone doubt that at some stage in history that this story was invented by a woman? She herself did not write it down. Of course, a man did this for her, since her ability to write is a comparatively recent skill. God damn it. Page 27, guys. We on page 27. Let's bookmark this. God damn it. This, ooh, Lord Jesus Christ. Christ on the cross. God damn it. God damn it. Nope. This is crazy. There we go. Bookmark. What page we on? Page 27. Bookmark. All right. I doubt it. I doubt what. Hey, man, Vince, bro. Oh, wait till he said, damn. God damn. No, I haven't. I have not. I have not read Wild at Heart, but I damn sure get it. But that's all we got, man. That's day 2, part 2. This is already attached to the playlist. So if you guys want to check it out, it will be available on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. What's today? Tuesday? I think Precious is tonight because she got to travel. So I'm going to try to make it on there. So if y'all didn't spare or spear? You meant spare? 18? Where we at? We on, did it save? Because then it saved the other day. I remember. A dictionary is where we're at. Okay. So y'all got anything before we swing out here? We got anything? Again, thank y'all for coming through. Okay, I appreciate you, bro. We'll be back tomorrow. We're trying to get this one out the way. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, sponsor of the show, Mr. So Solid. We're gonna keep this thing going, man. Update on Truck Chronicles, man. I've been real busy at work lately, so that's why I ain't got no Truck Chronicles this week. But we trying to get better. I will tell him I got you, bro. Tell the wife I said what's popping, man. We gonna get it going, man. We gonna get back to it. Was this book written in the 70s? It's over 35 years old, T.O. So let me see. Let's see. I got you, T.O. Hold on, bro. What is it called? See how old this book is. 1971. It's older than me. I was born in 73. And she was a German woman. It's translated to English. So I'll be 52 this year. So 54 years old. Right? So that's all I got, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Please be safe. A lot of changes coming. Make sure your house is in order, guys. Make sure your house is in order. It's a lot of changes coming. Trump ain't playing. People think it's a game, but Trump is not playing. I'm telling y'all for real. Right? So that's all I got, man. Love you guys. Thanks y'all so much for rocking with your boy. Always coming through to support us, man. Share this video, like this video. Tell people about this if you think it'd be interesting to them, right? And that's all I got, man. Y'all be safe, be easy. Stay prayed up, y'all. Y'all know what it is.
Respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this Mac can do. Rebel, let me speak these bars and show you what this rap can do. Niggas sweet like apple juice, niggas got them Mac confused. They say they be woke, but I always see niggas smack the snooze. Back to sleep, they hibernate. Politicians violate. Media be lying, hating, so solid can't tolerate. Every time I step outside, it's like I'm in the matrix. Popping pills to change reality, I'm dodging ages. Rather take your baby mama home and beat her back up. Just friends, where I be smashing like a Mack truck. I do this for the art, almost got caught in the bullshit. These bars from the heart, you can hear it in my music. Way I beat the track up, you can say that I'm a builder. Every time I rap the public, man, they be like, oh shit. Don't know what to say, just don't believe in you niggas. Politicians in the media deceiving you niggas. Niggas dumb eating what the news be feeding you niggas. Don't compare me to y'all, my cerebrum is bigger. And what she say? Take me home. Take me home. What she say? Take me home with y'all. Brother, let me rap with you. I did what I had to do. I don't need your respect, I don't want no fucking death from you. Take your baby mama home and show her what this man can do. Brother, let me speak sports and show you what this rap can do.
Take me home with chill solid, that's what baby said. She don't want what's in my wallet, just won't give me head. I just wanna see you win what you hating for. Showing what this rapping do since I was 8 years old.
Smoking on my kush, the realest black man in my zip code. They be talking about me when they see me, they on bitch mode. It's the prophet, he's so solid, yes, aka decided. Riding, keep it quiet, knock you down with the trident. I can't listen to the lies, can't even look me in my eyes. Shake my hand like a bitch, type of nigga I despise. Don't know why you even try, got the 9 on my side. They gon' bust up in the air, I'ma put it in your life. Don't know what to say, just don't believe in you niggas. Politicians in the media deceiving you niggas. Niggas dumb, eating what the news be feeding you niggas. Don't compare me to y'all, my cerebrum is big.